What's going on, guys? Zuko back with the birds with another Shadowlands video. We got the penguin today, the penguin mug. How's everybody doing? We're looking at Death Knights today. We're looking at all the Death Knight tier sets. That's all I'm looking at. We don't have access to double legendaries on the PTR yet, unfortunately, but we do have access to the tier set, which matters, which is really the big thing that matters for Death Knight. Some classes are like going to be much better with the double legendaries, and the tier sets are also going to add a bonus, but they're not like the big thing. And then some classes are obviously better off, I think, just with the tier set, and the double legendaries are going to add a bonus, but they aren't like the biggest contributing factor. So let's look at the tier sets. We're starting with Blood DK. I'm going to switch to another video that I just did a second ago inside a dungeon. But let's read this out loud and let me clarify a couple things. Let me get my notes up here so that I don't trip and fall over these things. So let's read this. Heart Strike increases your strength by 1% and the duration of Dancing Rune Weapon by 0.5 seconds, persisting for 10 seconds after Dancing Rune Weapon ends. I'll get back to that. It's very strangely worded. I didn't understand this until I got in the dungeon. Parrying an attack causes your weapon to lash out, heart striking your attacker. Dancing Rune Weapon now summons 2 rune weapons. Okay, the 4-piece is bonkers. They're both bonkers, actually. They're both really, really good. Let me just say a couple of things here quickly to clear it up. So, number one, you get 2 dancing rune weapons. So every time you press an ability, 3 of those abilities are going out. So if you press Blood Boil, you get 3 dots on the enemy, okay? While dancing rune weapon is going. So that's one thing. Number two, Dancing Rune Weapon, the actual little weapons themselves, they only stay out for 8 seconds like the tooltip says. Let me look at it here. They only stay out for 8 seconds. However, look at the bottom of the tooltip. It says, while active, you gain 40% parry chance. This tier set is telling us that when we Heart Strike, or when our weapon lashes out with the 4-piece bonus and Heart Strikes for us for free, that will increase the duration of the secondary parry effect. That's what it's talking about. It is not talking about the actual duration of the little weapons themselves. They don't stay out for any longer than 8 seconds. After 8 seconds, they go away. However, the parry, you get the parry bonus that you get from them, that can stay potentially forever in Mythic Plus. Let's switch to the video of me doing this in a dungeon. Let's switch over here. Okay, here we go. So you can see this, everything good. Let me just bring this over here. Okay, we're good. So here's a dungeon that I just ran into a Heroic Halls of Atonement. I'm going to show you that I've got the Vampiric Blood Legendary on. I'll get back to that in a minute because there's some synergies here that are really stupid. But what I want you to see, I'm going to pause for a second. What I want you to see right off the bat, let me make this bigger. There we go. Oh, that didn't work. What is happening? Hello? Let me reopen that. It died on me. Let's reopen it. Here we go. Ready, here we go. I'm just going to let it play. What I want you to see at the very beginning here is look in the top right corner of the video and look at the parry. It'll have the little dancing rune weapon icon once I cast it. The parry bonus stays up potentially forever. Also watch my damage because of all the heart strikes I'm casting. So I've got Dancing Rune Weapon. Look at the Dancing Rune Weapon in the top right-hand corner, guys. Look at the buff go up. 27 seconds. 25, 24. It's going down. It goes back to 24. Because we're in AoE, every single heart strike that goes out, including the ones that proc from the 4-piece bonus. Look, it's at 34 seconds now. My phone's going off here. 34 seconds, 29, it's back down again. But you can see that the parry bonus can stay up like forever in Mythic Plus because you have a 40% chance to parry every single hit that's coming in. And in Mythic Plus, that's like if you pull like 10 mobs, you're gonna have the parry buff up forever. It's still up right now. Also, look at the damage that I did. Heart Strike. I only cast Heart Strike 14 times. It hit 187 times, guys. That's how many times it was just like procking for free. Like it's bonkers. I didn't actually cast Vampiric Blood here, so I will. I'll show you the other legendary. Let me pause this for 1 second. The second legendary I'm going to show here is the one that cools down Dancing Rune Weapon for every 5 like bone shard things that you consume. Let me just before not Gorfiends. Crimson Rune Weapon. Dancing Rune Weapon generates bone shield charges, and then when a bone shield charge is consumed, the cooldown of Dancing Rune Weapon goes down by 5 seconds. That is the legendary that I currently have equipped. I'm gonna jump ahead. Oh, we'll go back 10 seconds. I pull this pack here. So this is the build. I actually have Dancing Rune Weapon back almost right now. I'm gonna cast it in a second. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna cast it again. There we go. It's out, and I watch my damage go up. And watch the Dancing Rune Weapon parry in the top right-hand corner. The parry buff will go up like crazy because I'm in AoE, and I have triple dots going on everything now because I have 2 Dancing Rune Weapons out. But it's the parries, guys. Parrying in... Oh, let's die in here. What's wrong with this player? This player is messed up, dude. Okay, let me restart that video one more time. I'll show the second half. You get the gist of that part there. The parry bonus is up basically all the time. Let's skip ahead. This pack here, I think I re-equipped the Vampiric Blood legendary. I want you to look at my Vampiric Blood cooldown. In the bottom red, right next to Bone Storm. Watch it there. I press it, look at my Vampiric Blood cooldown. 120, 115, 110, 107, 102, 57, 56. Look at how fast that goes down. That's because I'm using another legendary. Watch my Vampiric Blood. It's back. I think I forgot to press it here. I'm focused on other things. There, I pressed it again. 122, 117, 116, 107. Man, this player is actually awful. Whatever, you get the idea. Let's go back to the game. I need to use a different video player, obviously. Here's the game. Here's the legendary that I was just using at the end there. That's Gorfiend's Domination. Vampiric Blood generates runic power, and additionally, Heart Strike reduces the remaining cooldown of Vampiric Blood. I promise you, in Mythic Plus, in that clip that I was just trying to show you that failed miserably, I pressed Vampiric Blood 4 times in like a minute. It's a minute and a half cooldown. I cast it like 4 times in a minute. Vampiric Blood gives you 30% more health, and it increases all your healing and absorbs by 35%, including those received from other people. Vampiric Blood is an amazing cooldown to have back that often. So here's what I was trying to look at for this tier set bonus. You get here's the overview of what happens. You press Dancing Rune Weapon. You get 2 swords that come out. In an AoE situation, your parry chance is now at 40%. You are parrying stuff all the time. Every time you parry, you're hitting with a heart strike. You can combine that. It's a real heart strike, so it generates runic power, by the way, as well. I mean, you could take Breaker if you really wanted more runic power. You actually don't. It already generates too much. I think in some of the clips in the rest of the video, I actually showed that in a 1 minute period of time, I generated 500 runic power, which is actually like too much for Blood DK. But the point is, if you wanted to just Death Strike, if you were taking that much damage, you're generating a ton of runic power that you will be able to spend on Death Strikes if you want to, or Bone Storm. Your heart strike, you're heart striking naturally, and your dancing rune weapons are copying the heart strikes. All those heart strikes can be feeding into this legendary, reducing the cooldown of Vampiric Blood. Or you could take the dancing rune weapon legendary and get your bone shield charges reduced or consumed, and get your dancing rune weapon cast back. You could obviously run Tombstone if you wanted to, in combination with Crimson Rune Weapon, to get very quickly to get your Dancing Rune Weapon back. But the point is, in Mythic Plus, the parry bonus, the 40% parry bonus that you get because of all these heart strikes that are going out, that can last like the entire dungeon, man. Like if you do it properly, every single AoE pack that you are on, you will have permanent 40% parry on every single one of those packs. Um, it's actually crazy. I think a couple of the packs I actually pulled one pack into the next pack Like I finished with one pack and I ran to the next one and I still had my parry buff up and I got in there and started pressing Heart Strike and it just continued to increase the buff. So what's the bottom line here in Mythic Plus in particular? You can have basically permanent 40% parry. On a raid boss, it's not permanent 40% parry because you only have that one target. You need all those extra targets. In Mythic Plus, this is insane. This tier set is nuts for Blood DK. And parry is like a rare defensive stat in the game. Most tanks in the game, Blood DK doesn't really have a lot of defensives, right? They have healing, which is their main thing, but they don't have like block, they don't have dodge, they don't have like the monk stagger, they don't have parry except for when they press dancing room weapon, which is only 8 seconds long. But with this tier set, Blood DK has become like the premier like parry defense tank. Prop paladins can also get some parry if they invest into crit, but it's not really the way that they play the game. So I think warriors have some parry too, but warriors are mostly about block, critical block, right? So Blood DKs now have a secondary layer, an enormous secondary layer of defense that they can use in Mythic Plus, and it's this parry that you can basically have permanent uptime on the parry buff. So it's very good. You can run it also with the Vampiric Blood Gorfiend's domination if you want to get the cooldown of Vampiric Blood back. Hopefully you were able to see in the video, even though it bugged out. Hopefully you're able to see that the cooldown came back like really, really quick. And then obviously you could go with the standard dancing room. So that's Blood DK. It looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let me look at Unholy DK. Unholy DK got a good set bonus as well. It's focused primarily around this Soul Reaper buff here. So let's read it. Every 5 clawing shadows, cast Soul Reaper on your target. Soul Reaper grants your pet 20% attack speed for 10 seconds. That's pretty good. Whenever Soul Reaper's secondary effect triggers, summon an army of the dead ghoul. So for you guys who don't know about Soul Reaper, this is sort of the premier, this is one of the premier talents that Unholy DKs run with. Very, very good in execute, one of the best executes in the game, actually. It starts proccing below 35% health. Obviously in Mythic Plus, you can just it takes a bit of like finessing. You have to be kind of good at it, right? Because in Mythic Plus, you have multiple targets. You need to like tab target to somebody who's below 35% health, hit them with Soul Reaper, and then they will explode and get the additional damage, right? They'll also give you Runic Corruption at the end there. But in a raid boss, this is also good because you get into the execute phase and you just make sure that you're pressing Soul Reaper. It's a 6-second cooldown, meaning you can press it, wait till it explodes. After 5 seconds, it'll explode. Press it again, wait for it to explode, press it again. And what you'll be doing with this tier set bonus is giving your pet 20% attack speed, which does kind of mean that you could switch to Infected Claws, right? Because that's all about your ghoul's attacks have a chance to cause a festering. If you're giving your ghoul 20% more attack speed at all times, this might be the play here. I don't know the Unholy Legendary super well. I know that most people, I think, go with Dark Transformation because that's your pet. So this also works really well with Dark Transformation because you're giving your pet 20% attack speed, and it's all about the pet there. So when he's in Dark Transformation, he's doing a ton of extra damage. I know that Deadliest Coil is one of the most common ones, right? So maybe this is the play. Take Deadliest Coil, have this tier set bonus, and then it's all about your ghoul's damage, and you're extending Dark Transformation when your ghoul is doing a ton of damage, right? That could be it. Or you could double down with the attack speed with this. But here's what I don't actually know for sure. I was testing it on this dummy, and I can't quite tell if this is the case, but let's read this again. Every 5 Scourge Strikes gives you Soul Reaper. Soul Reaper grants your pet 20% attack speed. I think that also means that the base Soul Reaper will do this, and I just can't tell because I don't know. I'm not sure how to tell this. Somebody help me in the comments below if you want to. But here, I'm going to show you. There's one Scourge Strike. Let's do Dark Transformation. You can see the buff up here. Harvest Time. I have 4. 5 Harvest Times. It just added Scourge Strike to my enemy. Now I'm going to press Scourge Strike for real. It's going to extend the Scourge Strike that I just had, which is not necessarily what you want to do, but I'm just letting you know that that's an interaction that works. So this is pretty cool. You know, it's just more. I know. I realize I'm not spending my runic power. Quit yelling at me in the comments. I can hear you yelling already. There's why I just added Soul Reaper once again. So this is a free Soul Reaper. Obviously, we're not getting the detonating effect because we're not in the execute phase of this enemy. But getting a free Soul Reaper first of all, might just free you up to take one of these other talents if you want to, but this is really the best talent, and you can just get multiple Soul Reapers going in a fight in a Mythic Plus dungeon, so multiple explosions going off. You get what I'm saying there. And in the execute phase of a boss, you are getting Soul Reaper for free, basically. So maybe in raid bosses, you wouldn't even take Soul Reaper. You just Scourge Striking, right? Because it costs the same. It costs 1 rune to do both, but the Scourge Strikes are going to get you a free one. So it's very, very good. You get lots of attack speed for your pet. In Dark Transformation, that makes your pet even better. That's what you want, right? So ultimately, this is really, really good. It just gives us more of what we already want to do. And in the execute phase, you're going to be getting the Army of the Damned ghoul in a raid boss. You're going to be getting a bunch of Army of the Dead ghouls in a raid boss setting, which is really, really great. Your mastery increases the damage of your minions, so that's just going to be a direct synergy there. So very good. And in Mythic Plus, if you are throwing out sort of clutch Soul Reapers at the last moment and getting explosions going off on enemies that are below 35% health, you're getting tons of Army of the Dead ghouls all over the place. So, very good. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it works really well with the Unholy kit. It's just more of the same of what you want to do. What is Frost DK looking like? Let's equip it. Let us look at what the Frost DK is up to. So, here's the two-piece. Remorseless Winter grants 8% crit while active. Very, very good, because all Frost DK really cares about is critting because of Killing Machine. Your auto attack crits have a chance to make your next Obliterate deal frost damage and critically strike, right? Killing Machine, this is a huge, huge thing. It doing frost damage is our mastery, right? Increases our frost damage. Obliterate does not do frost damage baseline, but with Killing Machine it does. So you want to be proccing Killing Machine as much as humanly possible. 8% more crit is exactly what you want on Frost DK. Consuming Killing Machine fires a Glacial Advance through your target. Well, hello. That's this talent down here. So this is what you can do now. Instead of taking Glacial Talent in AoE, you can just take Gathering Storm. And you're going to want to take Gathering Storm because it makes Remorseless Winter last longer, which means you get 8% crit for longer, which means you're going to proc Killing Machine more often. That's what you want to be doing. Also, um, there's a legendary that you can take, obviously, for Frost DK. That is pretty good here. Biting Cold. Remorseless Winter damage goes up. This really has nothing to do with the crit bonus that you're getting. So, but you could take it if you want to. You can just go for the standard Kultiras. If you're going single target raid damage, this is probably what you want to be doing because you're going to be getting so many extra obliterates that are frost enchanted. You're going to be casting Obliterate like as much as possible, basically, and so it has a chance to give you those runes back, which is good. Absolute Zero is still fine. This is what I'm running right now because I kind of love the dragon, but legendaries are kind of up to you here, to be honest. They don't directly interact with the tier set bonus, but 8% more crit, and then consuming Killing Machine fires a Glacial Advance to the target. So this, in my opinion, actually pushes us away from Syndragosa, okay? It pushes us more towards Obliteration because Obliteration says whenever I press Pillars of Frost, if I Frost Strike, right? Frost Strike and Howling Blast always grant Killing Machine and have a 30% chance to give us a rune. So like this makes the Pillars of Frost Obliteration build so good because I'm getting Killing Machine for free. And every time I get a Killing Machine proc and I spend it, I'm going to fire a Glacial Advance for free. So I don't have to take Glacial Advance anymore. I'm just going to take Gathering Storm instead. Here's what this looks like. Also, this conduit's pretty important. Remorseless Winter deals more damage each time it hits. Obviously, we're extending it with Gathering Storm, right? This is essential talent right here. So we're going to always press Remorseless Winter first because that gets us our 8% crit. And then we're just going to go. There we go. We're focusing on Obliteration. Watch my Obliteration. I'm getting the free Obliterates, right? Because I have the talent, the Obliterate talent. Okay, we're out of the window now. That's fine. We're going to press other buttons. Remorseless Winter is almost back off cooldown. I realized I wasn't spending my runic power. I'm very sorry. But really, I was trying to get those procs to go. Let's spend it now. Then we're back. Every time we get a Killing Machine proc, we've got another one. Every time we do it, we're firing a Glacial Advance through our enemy. Every single time, guys. Could have played that a lot better, obviously. I realized that. Back to Remorseless Winter. Make sure we cast it on cooldown. There, we got a Killing Machine proc. Good, good, good. Didn't get one, but that's okay. Waiting for the Killing Machine proc. Our Pillar of Frost is almost back. I'm just going to wait till we get it back. We're going to do one more round of Pillar of Frost. Oh, we got a Killing Machine proc. Okay, ready for this? Ready, ready, ready. Here we go. Pillar of Frost, and go. We're going to press this. We're going to press this. Remorseless Winter is back. We got to press it. This is going to get us Killing Machine. There, we're going to fire it again. Glacial Advances are just firing through these guys. You see the idea. That's how it works, okay? And we did lots of damage there. Remorseless Winter was our highest damage, followed by Glacial Advance, which we didn't even press. We didn't even press Glacial Advance. Frost Fever just took its place. Damn it. It's because they're still getting hit. You see what I'm saying here? This did 15, 16% of our damage there. I realize it's in an ideal situation. In Mythic Plus, it's not going to work out the exact same. But here's the last thing I want to say about this. Glacial Advance actually adds Razor Ice to your enemies. That is this thing right here, Rune of Razor Ice. It adds it for free, which means you don't need to put it on your weapons. You can take Rune of Hysteria and Rune of the Fallen Crusader if you want to get the extra strength bonus, 15% more strength for 15 seconds. That was really good. And then Hysteria, obviously, to get you the runic power, but you don't have to take Razor Ice anymore because you're getting it applied for free. All those enemies had Razor Ice applied to them up to probably 5 times because I had the obliteration build going and I just kept smacking them. So that's amazing. You don't have to take this talent. You don't have to take this Rune Forge. You can just get both of them for free. I think the Frost build is extremely exciting in Mythic Plus in particular. In a raid boss, it's just going to add more damage. Getting 8% more crit helps to smooth out the rotation a lot for Frost DK because it's going to get you back to your big obliterates, your Frost enchanted obliterates, like much more often than you might have already had. So very good. All these sets, guys, I think are awesome. They are basically just more of the same. For Frost DK, they do give you some of the flexibility of not having to take Glacial Advance for AoE, getting the Razor Ice for free. Unholy DK, you're getting your Soul Reaper talent for free. So maybe you deviate away from that talent and get an extra buff somewhere else because you're just going to get the execute for free. But also in Mythic Plus, you could take Soul Reaper and spread them around, right? And have multiple explosions going off. Very, very good. Lots of pet damage. And then Blood DK, I think, is like maybe going to be one of the best Mythic Plus tanks moving into 9.2. 40% parry almost all of the time in the dungeon if you play it correctly. It's going to be absolutely crazy. The damage that also came out of my Blood DK was crazy in AoE situations. I was doing 11, 12k, and I wasn't even playing it very well. So I love the direction that they've gone with all the DK tier sets. I think they're all really strong. And yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Death Knights moving into 9.2. I think that the tier set looks great. It's going to be awesome. So I'll catch you in the next one.